Right. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another walkthrough of God of War, the reboot. If you have not seen the previous videos I've done with this, recommend you watch them before watching this one. Link below will be once I figure out how to record games on the PS3. God of War Ascension, God of War Chains of Olympus, God of War 1, God of War Ghost of Sparta, and God of War 2. All recorded from the PS3, will be linked below, except for God of War 3, because the PS4 has a remaster version of it. Although, you know, if they could get a remaster on the PS3 for God of War, or 3, sorry, what about the other games? Where's their remaster versions? And it still doesn't make sense how God of War 3 got remastered when technically Ascension was the latest God of War game before, you know, this one came about. But yeah, whatever. So obviously all God of War games will be linked below, along with Ragnarok and the first ever DLC Valhalla, both PS4 and PS5 versions. Because obviously I will play the PS5 version as well. Sorry. And obviously linked below will be other types of open world games. I'm not going to go into the specific details on the open world games. I'm going to say similar open world games will be linked below. And since, you know, this is like a fantasy, mythological-like kind of game, other games that are also like fantasy and mythological-like type of games will also be linked below. And again, not gonna go into the details. Gonna say similar ones like them will be linked below. And obviously, picking up where we left off, we did a little bit of realm traveling, and now, obviously, for this one, we're gonna continue on with the story until we get to the part where supposedly we need to go inside Jormungandr's mouth to where, you know, we have the fight with Baldur. Because before the fight with Baldur, I want to see if maybe I can get some opportunities to fight, you know, the Valkyries, or, you know, possibly fight all of them, if even possible. Because we won't be able to fight the last one. Because if any of you saw my actual first walkthrough of this when I did this live, oh my god, I spent maybe 2 days trying to beat her, and oh my god, when I finally did, I was like, oh, finally, and everything else. Anyway, that's the plan going forward, and let's see what we can do.
Mimir, can you start that story again from before? Wasn't it Surtr the Brave?
Of course. We've spoken so much of frost giants. It's about time we instead met the most fiery giant of all. Back when Ymir first emerged from Ginnungagap, it was Surt who followed next. He came from Muspelheim, the fire realm, bringing heat to the young cosmos, conjuring the sun from his primordial flame. But let's come back to that flaming sword, shall we? Surt the Brave forged his sword of flame for one purpose alone: to burn down Asgard when Ragnarok comes at last. His destiny is to fall at the hands of Thor and Odin, but in so doing, strike the blow that leaves their realm in ash and ruin. And from that destruction, the world can be born anew. Until then, alone he waits in Muspelheim, never sleeping, ever honing his fiery blade. Brave, generous suit, who knows he lives but to his doom. All because he chooses to serve a grand cycle so much bigger than himself. To truly embrace your purpose and the patience and sacrifice it demands is to ensure your day will come.
Do you think we'll be there when that day comes?
I've seen it. Enough of war between the gods. But you, little brother, who can say?
Tyr's Rune. This is it.
We're inside. But what is this place?
Your guess is as good as mine, little brother.
The tree! We're underneath the realm travel room. But why is the floor on the ceiling?
Those realm doors seem to mirror the ones above.
Look up there.
Up there. Tyr used the same magic to protect the Black Rune. The clue we seek may be inside.
Huh. Right next to the Jotunheim door.
Interesting. But can we reach it?
Not from here.
What's behind there?
Well, one inner sanctum within another.
Those tapestries. Looks like more giant art. Whatever Tyr did for them must have been big. Whoa, who are they?
Boy, this is the rune for Jotunheim.
That's right. And look, we're on the other side of the door.
The upside-down door.
What are you thinking?
Stand back.
Okay. It's moving!
What's moving?
Everything!
Extraordinary. The whole room is built on some kind of axle.
There's chains on both sides. Without those...
We can flip the temple.
All right!
What now?
Uh-oh. Things are happening. Okay. I don't think they're attacking. Want me to read this one?
Boy, on the statues.
I see them. It says void.
Ominous.
Go on. Read.
Before the first, after the last. Nothing between, no shadow cast. Alpha.
Are you quite sure flipping the temple is the only way to reach them, whatever it is?
You said there would be a path. The temple can be flipped.
Therefore, we flip the temple. The logic is unassailable. Not sure what happens when we recklessly upend a room that's rooted to 8 other realms. I'm curious, of course, but it's a leap to imagine it gets us to Jotunheim.
I don't mind a lead.
Well, who knows? Perhaps you and Tyr are the same kind of mad.
Here, boy. Another one.
It says his name is Bergelmir. I think Mother said he was the king of the giants.
Aye, that he was. And quite a bit more.
Looks like he had a lot of kids.
That, little brother, is what we call an understatement.
He's dead, but nobody killed him. Do giants die from old age?
They may, though it's rare among the legends. Again with the death traps. I'd have thought, brother, why don't you let the lad carry me for a while?
And let you miss this. No.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? to do what you do, brother.
Until gods grow good.
Could be quite a wait.
Nah, they're just waiting for us.
apple doesn't fall far.
Prepare yourself! The other chain waits.
Ah, it's the other kind. Variety is so important.
Father, I think you should see this.
I truly do hate this part.
I know.
I can't believe we're so close.
I, for one, never doubted.
Right. leave them in peace.
Obviously not referring to us.
Boy,
Yes, sir?
time to flip the temple.
Yes, sir.
Let's just agree to stop saying flip the temple. It's starting to sound normal. Brothers, I know what I promised, but in case this doesn't work, just remember, Tyr had good cause to create these obstacles. He's kept Jotunheim out of Odin's reach, but the world is hardly at peace.
No, but it's got hope. We're all working together now. We have unity. That's what the rune on the door to this place was telling us. We're on Tyr's path.
Lift with your legs, brother.
He knows.
Just trying to be helpful. On the day that brute force is the answer, I'll be quite happy to be on your side, brother. And we're not dead. That's a plus.
There, on the left. I think we can climb back up to the realm travel room from there.
A climb, you say?
Aye, by the statues.
Atreus, to me!
See that, Mimir? Nobody can do all this alone. All these obstacles. They're just chances to prove we're the ones who can beat them. We may argue. Me and Father, you and Freya, Brock and Sindri. But when we all work together, we do make a good team. And that's Tyr's test. That's why we're gonna make it to Jotunheim.
Do you hear that, brother? Lad's found his equilibrium.
What's that mean?
He means you speak wisely, Atreus. And that is good to hear.
Ha! I guess the temple was made to be flipped.
Look, the tree's upside down. Or are we? I'm not sure anymore.
Boy, your knife.
Well, what have we got?
Some sort of travel stone.
Let me see. Great Audumlazaras. That's the Unity Stone.
You know it.
I wasn't sure it existed. If Tyr possessed this, that explains how he could visit all the realms and other lands to boot.
He held this. In the panel in Odin's library.
Yes. Yes, that's it. I understand now. It shows Tyr walking the realm between realms. You know how you must never stray from the path? Well, Tyr always followed his own path, if you catch my meaning.
The realm between realms.
you're saying Tyr's shrine showed him stepping off the branch of the World Tree. And you're thinking, to reach the secret path to Jotunheim, that's what we need to do?
I am.
Oh dear. That is what you're thinking, isn't it?
Been putzing around Niflheim, have we?
How can you tell?
I'd recognize Ivaldi's stench of failure anywhere. Plus, you still got some mist on your shoes.
If you're thinking about hurling us all into the void, I hope you're quite sure.
Wasn't it your idea? Find our own path, right?
Bollocks.
You could sort of see through the shimmering that you could sort of see the gate there. You could sort of see, you know, a goldish color there. It's right there. You can just barely lightly see us.
This is where Tyr stepped beyond, and the Unity Stone protected him. Ready?
Ready.
Well, if this is it, lads, it's been an honor.
Our faith head.
This is incredible!
How can I be so nauseous without a stomach?
Come on, that was great.
Look,
The tower. I knew there was something down here.
Amazing! How do you hide something that exists in all realms? Cast it out of any realm to the space between. Clever old Tyr.
Is Jotunheim on the other side?
Can't be that. It's not like you go through Vanaheim to reach the Midgard Peak.
but how do we use it?
I'd suggest we look inside, but stay alert. Tyr's little challenges are never as simple as they appear.
I have noticed.
Well, this is sparse.
The pedestal.
Oh no! It took the stone!
Tower. It's absorbing the stone's energy.
Something's happening! Is it moving? It's moving!
It knows what to do. The stone served its purpose. We're fulfilling Tyr's spell.
What happens now?
No idea, brother. But after that fall, I'm sure we're past the worst of it. Oh, no, this is considerably worse. Glad that's over. Now, where are we?
Oh, looks like Alphon. Where do you think it's taking us next?
I do not know.
Oh no! We're back in hell?
Oh dear, here they come.
Surely that's enough of that.
Muspelheim! This won't be good.
On your right!
Almost ready! Ogre and Troll at the same time. Sure, that's fair. You stopped. I think it's over.
Aye. But where are we?
Look! We're back in Midgard. There's the bridge. We did it. The tower's back where it belongs.
Now Tyr's travel room can take us to Jotunheim.
How did Tyr do this?
Odin suspected the giants secretly possessed some remnant of primordial Jotnar creative essence, the stuff all realms were made of. The Unity Stone must have been fashioned from that essence. To trust an outsider with it, even Tyr, tells you just how desperate they were.
And look! Now we can finally light all the braziers and see what happens. Alright, last one. Going to. Look at that. Maybe we can survive a fight with the Valkyrie now.
don't know what we'll find when we get to Jotunheim, but we must cover our tracks. Odin's ravens will tell him of the tower's restoration, and we mustn't let our efforts be to his benefit.
Very well.
This is it. Here we go.
Hold on, wait a minute. This isn't going to work.
What?
There's no travel crystal. Tyr must have used his own eyes to refract the energy. It was his final failsafe.
You've got eyes like him, Mimir.
I've got an eye. One! Odin plucked out my other eye precisely to keep me from travelling. Sorry, lads. Thought that would work.
What did Odin do with your other eye?
He'd have kept it. In any of 100 places, I'm afraid.
We've come so far. There has to be a way.
Look, bit of a long shot, but for years I'd see Sindri, sometimes Brock, lurking around in that mountain when Odin came for his visits. Maybe they know something.
Brock and Sindri. Hey guys, question for you. Anyone know where we can find Mimir's other eye?
Oh. That's... I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, Odin asked me to... He wanted me to build a... He showed it to me, you see, and I... Declined. Sorry. Will you excuse me? Oh.
Well, that was useless.
You know, it was about that same time that Odin came around looking for me to build a statue with some sort of hidden compartment. Now, that not being a weapon and the Aesir being a bunch of pock-speckled cockers, I too saw fit to decline. But I know he got it built just the same.
What was the statue?
It's that one of Thor out there flashing his sack to the lake.
The statue that the serpent ate.
Sorry about that. Feeling much better.
How are we supposed to look inside the snake?
Inside? Oh no!
We'd better go see what the world serpent has to say about that. Well, lads, I don't know what lies ahead, but now would be a good time to make sure your gear is ready for the worst. Anything you need to do, I'd do it now. Just some sage advice.
Oh man, the tower ate the Unity Stone, didn't it? I wanted to fly again.
Yes, that's a terrible pity.
Terribly sorry, but we're gonna have to stop here. We're gonna make this video short, although now looking at it, it is probably a good idea, because now from here on forth I can just concentrate with the Valkyrie fights. But again, and I have to cut this video short. We'll be back again another time, and as always, leave a like and comments.